Washington, D.C. with their fancy little castles seems to care. Our national immigration policy must be comprehensive and compassionate, but it cannot allow one group in simply because they are our neighbors to the south. 2, we must get our economic house in order. We are spending money faster than I can unload rounds downrange on the opening day of hunting season. And I can unload a lot of rounds. The Biden team seems to think that paying people to stay home is a solid fiscal policy. Inflation is almost at a 2-decade high. We must stop the uncontrolled printing of money overseas when we are very clearly in debt at home. We must get government out of the way of small businesses, reinstate the Trump-era tax plan, and for goodness sakes, get inflation under control. Thanks to Joe, Whoville and America will about have the same Christmas, since he appointed someone who couldn't fix potholes in South Bend to fix the entire port system. 3, we need to reverse all of Biden's energy policies. Even the national strategy under the Obama administration correctly stated that energy independence is a national security issue. We must become energy independent once again and become the world's leading producer and exporter of gas and oil. Pro tip, Mr. President, don't kill a pipeline at home and then look to OPEC to control gas prices. It's not a good look. Maybe if Sleepy Joe had to fill up a Ford F-150 like I do, he'd understand. 4, we need to take back our streets from criminals. This isn't about race, wokeness, or status. You pick up a brick and you throw it through a CVS window, you go to jail. Let me make this especially clear so even the reporters at CNN will understand. You hit a cop, you go to jail. You sexually assault someone in the governor's mansion, you go to jail. You use crack cocaine and you take pictures in your underwear and you sell it your country because your daddy's the VP, you're gonna go to jail. 5, we need to rebuild our military and develop a solid foreign policy. It seems today that the only thing that comes out of the generals' mouths of the 5-sided puzzle palace are woke policies and the inability to figure out who the enemy is. And another thing, we cannot and should not be the world's police force, but let us never again leave our citizens behind foreign lines. The events of August were a horrendous failure, and I better see someone being held accountable. Oh, and one more thing. You purposely give Black Hawk helicopters to terrorists, you go to jail. And finally, and most important of all, we must put America and Americans first in every decision that we make. My policy is clear. America first, Americans always. We can be the light of the world, but if our own ranch is not in order, then how are we expected to lead? America first never meant America only, but the nations of the world who claim to share our values must also share America's burden. American exceptionalism has never been a dirty word. It won 2 world wars and placed a man on the moon. We should be proud of what we have done and not be embarrassed for what we have. We are Texans. We are Americans. And we should be proud of it. And it's about time we started acting like it. I am from Texas, as are all of you. And I know we know a little thing about being surrounded and outnumbered and how to fight and fight hard. So I would like to read you the words written over 200 years ago. The enemy has demanded a surrender at discretion. Otherwise, the garrison are to be put to the sword if the fort is taken. I have answered this demand with a single cannon shot, and our flag still waves proudly from its walls. I shall never surrender nor retreat. I call on you in the name of liberty, of patriotism, and everything dear to the American character to come to our aid with all dispatch. If this call is neglected, I am determined to sustain myself for as long as possible and die like a soldier who never forgets what is due to that of his own honor and that of his country. Victory or death, signed Colonel William Barrett Travis, Commander of the Alamo. Remember, this is our fight. And I know it feels like the left, the mob, and the squad are all in control and demanding our surrender. Do you remember 45's warning? They don't just hate him and our conservative policies. They hate you and they hate me. And I get it. My plan, it's not the only one. And like those Texans at the Alamo, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. And the enemy always gets a vote. But if we don't get a clue, stop living in fear, and place Jesus at the center of our efforts, we will lose this republic in the face of a determined enemy. At 17, I will dedicate my time, my talent, and my treasure to secure the blessings of liberty once again for my generation and every generation to come after me. At 17, I will only speak the truth. Not my truth, not the left's truth, the truth. At 17, I call on everyone in and outside these walls to do one of three things. Lead, follow, or get the hell out of my way. Like Reagan said, if not us, then who? And if not now, then when? God bless America. God bless the Republic of Texas.